Pause the video, give it a go yourself first. Okay, let's get going. But before we do that, let me just check to see if this is recording. Oh my god, earlier I did this and I had no sound. Yes, we're good. Okay, let's do it then. First thing I'm going to set up on my arrays, we've got an array called patient and an array called readings. So patient, readings. I know you don't actually have to do this in real life because it says you don't have to, but I'm going to do it because it helps me visualize. So patient will store patient names. It's a string. How do I know it's going to store patient names? Because it's a string and later on it tells us that we need to output the patient name. So let's do some patients. Let's do Pavlov. That's a very Russian name. Sergey. Let's also do Logan. And it says readings is going to be two different figures. One, which is going to be their temperature, and one, which is their pulse. Temperature is a real number between 31.6 and 37.2. And pulse is a real number also, 55 to 100, but the whole number. So you're not going to have any other decimal apart from 0. So, for Pavlov, his temperature was, let's do 31.7, and their pulse rating is 100, right on that edge. We then have another one. Let's do 30. I keep forgetting the range. 35.2, and the pulse rating of 99.0. And let's have one more, Logan. Let's have temperature being at 40.1 and pulse rating at 100.0. Okay. So let's get on to the task. The task says write a procedure using program code that meets these requirements. It doesn't give us a procedure names, but the whole point of this is to check and output information. So we're going to call it def check. And it tells us that we're going to receive as a parameter hospital number. What is hospital number? The hospital number is given to each patient. So this will be patient 1, patient 2, patient 3, or hospital number 1, hospital number 2, hospital number 3. So it's basically going to say, let's say hospital number equals int input, enter the patient's hospital number. So if I want to check Logan's information out, I'll be typing in 3 because they are patient number 3. Makes perfect sense. I'm now going to call the procedure, check hospital number. So what we're going to do with this, we're now going to check to see if the hospital number is valid. So it needs to be between 1 and 1,000. That's easy. If hospital number is less than 1 or the hospital number is more than 1,000, print hospital number out of range. And that will end the procedure. So if I run our code now, and we're going to do, let's do that, hospital number out of range, that's to do hospital number 1, it's fine. 1 and 1,000 inclusive, so that's including 1 and 1,000. Okay, now we want to output the patient's name. That's easy. We don't need to do any loops. We don't need to do any loops because we know exactly which patient we're after based on the hospital number. So let's do an else. So if the hospital number is good, we're going to print, and we want to print the patient's name. The patient's name lives in list called patient, position, hospital number. Now, you're going to say to me, yeah, but the hospital number, if we type in 1, which is Pavlov, he actually lives in position 0. You are right. So we need to then do -1. So if we type in Pavlov for hospital number 1, at the moment it'll display Sergey. because Pavlov lives in 0, not 1. So we need to do this calculation to take us to the right information. So watch. We're looking at person number 1. We enter Pavlov. Excellent. That's a name. Now I might make this a little bit neater by going name like that. What other things do we need to do? We now need to look at the actual readings of the person. And it gives us information about what readings should be in the question. When the data for a patient is checked, a warning is given if any of the readings are out of range. If both readings are out of range, severe warning. So that's what we want to do. The way I'm going to do this is I'm going to do if readings, and we're going to do position, hospital number -1, so get the right row of the right patient. And we're just going to check to begin with the person's, is it temperature? The first one? Temperature. If it is, let's do out of range. So it's going to be below this, and that, and greater than that. So if they are less than that, so less than 31.6, or, I'm just going to copy this again, is greater than 37.2, I'm just going to store a variable called error or warning. Warning equals warning plus 1 because it's outside of the range, so we want to flag a warning. I'm then going to do the same if readings hospital number -1, and this time we're going to be checking their pulse rate, and the pulse rate is 55 to 100. So if it's less than 55.0 or that is greater than 100, warning equals warning plus 1. So now we're checking the second column for whatever patient it is. I'm then going to do another if warning equals 0, print normal, because normal is that everything is fine. So I'm going to do normal readings. If warning equals 1, and we're going to do warning out of print, what am I doing? Warning out of range. It's not telling us which one is out of range. We're going to do that in a second. Elif warning equals 2, print severe. Is it severe warning? Yeah. Warning, both are out of range. The final thing we want to do is just say which one is out of range if it's only one. So again, I'm making this slightly complicated. You can simplify this yourself quite easily. I'm going to do pulse equals 0, temp equals 0. If it's their temp which is an issue, I'm going to make temp equals 1. Pulse equals 1 if it's a pulse. And I'm going to just expand this slightly. So if they've got one warning, so if it's just one of these, we're going to check to see if warning equals 1, and I'm going to add temp equals 1, warning temperature is out of range. I'm going to do another elif here. and not temp equals 2, sorry, and pulse equals 1. Pulse is out of range. So if we were to run this now, I'm going to do patient number 1, normal readings. Let's do patient number 3 this time. Temperature is out of range. And that is true. Their temperature is out of range. Let's make their pulse out of range as well. Patient number 3. Warning, both are out of range. Let's make the temperature in range now. Let's do person 3. So it's now just the pulse which is out of range. And that is it. The procedure is over. So the procedure is over if we type in the wrong number, the hospital number, or we finish this code. Again, I could simplify this a little bit, but I'm going to leave it like that. So this displays the patient's name. We then check their readings using the correct row, which matches the person, and then the column we want. So this column is their temperature. We do the same for pulse to check, see if it's outside of range. I'm also recording if it is out of range, increasing the warning and flagging which one it is. Is it temperature or is it pulse? If warning equals 2, they're both out of range. And this is me checking them. There's no need to do a loop for this question because we know exactly where the patient's information is stored. If we type in patient number 1, we know it's Pavlov. We know it's going to be this. We don't need to loop through to find it.